All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Brandon Reynolds. I'm here to give a class on renewable resources. And the reason why I picked this topic is because I plan on, in January, going to University of North Texas and pursuing a degree in energy engineering. So what do you think of when you think of renewable sources, non-renewable sources? All right, so you have resources that we use to make things or create other things, and basically we are depleting them faster than we can recreate them. All right, most people, when they think of going green, they think of tree huggers, and that is just environmental friendly people. However, this renewable and non-renewable sources include much more, to include things that involve your money and the economy, as well as the history of the United States. Basically, China is leading this in the forefront, and as much as we can avoid China being on top, we want to do that. So non-renewable resources are natural resources that cannot be remade or regrown at a scale comparable to its consumption. The most non-renewable source we have is coal. We only have 110 years worth of coal left if we stay on the same pace, and then none of the rest will be available. Nuclear energy. Basically, nuclear energy is the fission between of uranium to create energy. Nuclear energy is a non-renewable source because once the uranium is used, it will be gone. So fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are basically coal, petroleum, and natural gas. They're considered renewable because they cannot be replenished once again. So health considerations are the main picture in the background. In the bottom left are pictures of Beijing, and that is normal, full sun up, what it looks like due to the smog. They're constantly wearing masks around. Bottom right picture is a golfer in a golf tournament wearing a mask. Top left, you see the oil spills, what they do to wildlife. The top right, you see the pollution index, involving Beijing, Montreal, and Toronto. And Beijing is, considering the index, basically the scoring, Beijing would score over 700. If non-renewable resources are resources that cannot be remade at a scale comparable to its consumption, what are renewable resources? All right. You see this BMW's prototype, supposed to come out this year, focusing on electricity. Electricity researchers at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory tackled this question. They have found that technically by 2050, the U.S. could get 80% of its electricity from renewable energy and keep the lights on every hour, every day, in every corner of the country. That is a BMW that's coming out. It is pure electronic, does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, and it gets 94 miles per gallon. Renewable resources, different types are solar, geothermal, wind, biomass, and water. Start with solar energy. Solar energy comes from the sun, and you see what a solar panel looks like on the top left, and the bottom left is the Hemlock semiconductor building. You usually see it on College Street. This building completely regenerates its own energy and does not consume any outside energy. Solar panels average at 2.2 kilowatts per hour per panel. And solar panels, they start at around $50, and they can get really expensive after that. But you can do it yourself and get one of those yourself on your house or wherever you live. Geothermal, these aren't as frequent as solar panels. You've probably seen solar panels more often, but they are generated from the Earth's heat. And the average one creates 11.5 megawatts per hour. Wind turbines, they use the wind, obviously, and you can see how big the wind turbine is. The turbine is on the left. That is one fin for that entire thing. And these wind turbines average averagely generate 1.1 megawatts per hour. Biomass, what biomass is that they take basically plants, break them down into smaller, break them down as much as they can, eventually put them in pellets, and then they are burned to create biomass energy. Water or electrohydraulic, obviously this is the Hoover Dam, and they use turbines inside to route the water to crank up the generators which produce electricity. Water turbines usually produce 1,000 megawatts per hour. Alright, thing everybody likes to talk about, that's money. Now how can we get money in our own pockets? That article on the bottom left is from the Huffington Post, saying 400 solar power users are paid for electricity in Tennessee. So 400 people in February 2011 were already getting paid by the electric company. So they set up their, obviously not many of us have a whole lot of land, but if we could set up wind turbine or solar panels in our yards and our houses, you generate the power, you sell it to the electric company, and they actually pay you. So instead of paying that bill, they're paying you. Also the economy, like I was talking about earlier, technology has boosted our economy to make it where it was, and unfortunately plummeted lately, but if we introduce this technology, we can forecast to be back on the forefront. Alright, so solar panels, they, if you're doing your do-yourself projects, can be as low as $50, I'm sorry. You don't want to buy Chinese because reviews have been saying that they've been going out, and the American ones are actually have warranties for, I believe, 25 years or something like that. The average bill for the person who lives in Clarksville, electric-wise, is $200. And the average person who has solar panels reports that they have at least 1/3 cutback in their electric bill based on these solar panels. So that's quite a bit of money when you come to the end. Alright, so we've talked about the differences between renewable and non-renewable sources, and we talked about fossil fuels, and hopefully you guys will pick out an interest in taking up solar power panels, and basically it's going to happen, it's going to change, but the sooner we do it, the better we'll be.